All right, big breaking news tonight in the Idaho murders, where the grieving sister of murder victim Kaylee Gonsalves is now defending the roommate who came face to face with the killer, but apparently waited around 8 hours to call the police, saying that everyone should stop passing judgment and understand that she was probably very scared. Now, the suspect, Brian Kohlberger, is now being held without bond in Idaho as key questions remain, including motive and the location of the murder weapon. Idaho authorities are now releasing photos of a mysterious white car near the scene of the crime the day after the murders. Now, remember, Kohlberger was in a white Hyundai. And we're going to continue to follow those updates. Meanwhile, up in Massachusetts, the husband of a missing realtor has now been charged with misleading police. Prosecutors there now are saying that a broken knife with blood found in the family's basement, and that Brian Wall spent hundreds of dollars on cleaning supplies and searched for how to dispose of a body. Anna Walsh was reported missing on January 4th after she did not show up for work, and police have been searching for her whereabouts ever since. The husband also is on probation relating to a separate fraud case involving fake art pieces. He is on house arrest. Here with reaction, former Florida Attorney General Pam Bondi, along with former LAPD detective, Fox News contributor Mark Fuhrman. Welcome, both of you. Pam, I don't know what to say about the student that saw this guy. He wasn't a black hood. I can understand her being scared, but you would think that would prompt a police call. If you're spending all that money on cleaning supplies and looking up how to dispose of a dead body, I was never an attorney general like you, but I think that's a pretty good sign you probably killed the person.
Well, yeah, as a career prosecutor, I think now you're talking about the Massachusetts case, right? The other case,
right,
where the husband went to Home Depot and bought a tremendous amount, $450 in cash of cleaning supplies. I've had murders where these stupid defendants go to Home Depot afterwards, believe it or not, caught on video, trying to clean up their act. Yeah, he is not the brightest criminal. The previous case that you spoke about, though, and the roommate, where this horrible person murdered these 4 beautiful young people. As a career prosecutor, Sean, one of the hardest things you do is getting to know the victims' families and surviving victims. And I think Mark will tell you, as a detective, we've all had victims of homicides who have survived when others were murdered, and we have no idea. This is a teenage girl who was traumatized and most likely paralyzed in fear. And it's a miracle that she was not murdered. And, you know, as a former homicide prosecutor, you develop deep emotional bonds with the family members and the surviving victims, because you have to educate them and tell them in graphic detail the way that their family members were murdered. And you have to be there to support them, because this most likely will be a death penalty case. And I'm glad they have the death penalty. As a former capital prosecutor, I'm glad they have the death penalty in Idaho, assuming all these facts that are being reported are true.
Mark Fuhrman, let's get your take on both cases. The girl that didn't report seeing this guy, and the case of somebody that spends all that money on cleaning supplies and looks up how to dispose of a dead body.
Well, let's start with Idaho. So Dylan, who was the surviving witness that actually opened the door 3 times, she was probing the noises, and then all of a sudden the noises kind of stop. She opens the door once again. She comes face to face with somebody in a mask covering their nose and their mouth. She closes the door and locks it. Never in her wildest imagination would she think that any of her roommates, let alone 4 people, would have been murdered. And she listened, no doubt, and then she went to sleep. If she is going to be judged for this, let her be judged that she did a great job as a witness to actually create the nexus between the White Elantra and Brian Kohlberger. From the description she gave, they were able to write search warrants for cell towers and for a phone, and we are where we are today because they had that connection from the crime scene to the suspect. So it cuts both ways, but just remember, she's going to have to live with this for the rest of her life.
She had no idea.
The other case in Massachusetts, no, she had no idea. Absolutely. You're absolutely correct. Massachusetts, you've got this Brian Walsh that sounds like a real idiot. He's buying a 5-year supply of cleaning products to, I guess, clean the house for his wife who's missing. So when she comes home, it's nice and tidy. But somehow there's blood and a broken knife in the basement, which the police by now have already got a DNA sample on. No doubt they've searched the house. They've got a toothbrush or makeup, a lipstick, a hairbrush, and they've found the wife's DNA. They're matching it right now as we speak. And he's in jail, so there's no rush.
All right, Mark Fuhrman, thank you. Pam Bondi, thank you both. We appreciate it.